Welcome back to another episode of Dropkick Basement. Early part of August here in the United States, and we're certainly feeling the heat of summertime as we, in the pro wrestling world, we get a little bit closer to Summerslam. I am Mike Madden, and I am joined by Tommy Schultz. Tommy, how we be? Getting a little bit closer to SummerSlam time.
Sitting poolside with a refreshing glass of lemonade, reminiscing on the old days of SummerSlam when we would have, a nice awful main event that nobody wanted to see, with very, very long builds.
That's true. That's one thing I never thought of about SummerSlam, is that these builds would start in damn near like May. Yeah. And it would be like you're slogging through the summer. Have you been to a SummerSlam in person?
No, I have not.
If you said, "Oh, I was at the one in London," I would have been like, "That's awesome." I went to SummerSlam 1990 at the Spectrum. Main event was a double main event because, of course, we always have to suck up to Terry Gene Bollea himself.
Oh yes,
it was Hogan and Earthquake in the first half of the main event. It was Warrior and Rick Rude in what I remember to be a pretty fun and good cage match.
Yes.
Undercard shit was pretty good. I remember I went with my dad and my brother, and we took some friends of ours that lived right around that Pennsylvania area. And when Macho Man came out on the throne, Macho King at the time, because he was wrestling against Dusty Rhodes, and he came out. Him and Sherry came out on the big throne. And they had jobbers, and you could see, our seats were pretty decent. We were kind of in the lower half, but we couldn't really see the entrance for anybody. But you could see the Macho Man on the throne, and my dad was like, "That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. He's the best." So yeah, we were pretty big on Savage. That one also had the title change where Kerry Von Erich beat Mr. Perfect.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Kerry Von Erich was really over. So that was the first one that I also made it to SummerSlam 97.
That's the one that I really wanted to go to.
Which is the infamous Steve Austin, Owen Hart disaster. And again, a great main event with that one, which was Brett and Undertaker with Shawn as the referee, and Brett winning the belt, Mankind and Triple H in the cage. Some brutal spots in that one.
Probably could have rebooked the rest of that card, but
yeah, not a lot of memorable ones, and that undercard was a little bit slim.
It started and ended fantastic, but woof.
Bulldog and Ken Shamrock, I remember, was on the undercard for that one. And was there not a Pillman Goldust?
There was. There were some very weird stipulations. I think that was Pillman.
Pillman has to wear a dress.
Yep, and then if I'm not mistaken, the Bulldog Shamrock had the stipulation of the loser had to eat dog food.
Yes, that dog food. Wow. So it was with all the faction wars too.
Yeah, and then we got Austin breaking his neck.
Yeah. So there's a lot of disappointment out. Yeah, that one that would be a lot of fun to book. Maybe we'll keep that one earmarked for next year's rebooking a bad SummerSlam. But for this year, for this particular rebooking the SummerSlam, I have chosen to maybe not a terrible card, but certainly lackluster in its final match. I'm going to tackle the 1994 version of SummerSlam. And what are you going after on your side?
So as I was telling you in our pre-production meeting, I had originally thought about doing SummerSlam 1998, which I as a kid, I remembered fondly, but I was like, it probably doesn't hold up. So I rebooked the entire card, and then I was like, you know what? This actually sounds pretty good on paper. So let me watch this. And I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, this is too good to rebook.
Yeah,
So I was like,
yeah.
99 sucked. I'll do that one.
98 that was from the Garden, right?
Yes.
If I
that
remember
was a great
correctly.
SummerSlam, actually.
That had that great, was it the first match? Jeff Jarrett and X-Pac?
No, the first match was D'Lo and Val Venus
Oh,
for the European title.
we didn't get to mention Pal Penis in our last episode. It's probably the first episode where he didn't get any shout outs. So yeah, all right. So that was for the Euro title, and that was D'Lo going over in that one, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep,
And that started that great run where he was the was he not the He was the European champion, and he was fighting from every different European city.
So he would just every single time he would come, he would be introduced from a different European city. It was great, and he was still, he was wearing the chest protector.
From
The chest protector of doom.
that was from his match with Dan Severn.
Yeah.
Which legitimately probably caved his chest in. But that's good stuff. But yeah, let's not belabor too much about how sneaky good SummerSlam '98 was. I'm going to start off first with SummerSlam '94, originating from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. The original card, there was a dark match, Adam Bomb beating Quang, the mysterious Quang, Savio Vega. And this was after they turned Adam Bomb babyface, and he was throwing little miniature
Footballs, right?
footballs that were shaped like bombs. But that didn't make it onto the main card. They might have had like a pay-per-view pre-show, sort of free-for-all, precursor to the free-for-all that might have been on.
It's a shame though.
I know.
Not getting an Adam Bomb match.
Getting deprived of an Adam Bomb match, please. The first main show match was IRS and Bam Bam Bigelow defeating the Head Shrinkers.
Oh.
You also had Alundra Blaze versus Bull Nakano for the women's title.
Ooh.
You have Razor Ramon with Sweetness Walter Payton, one of the greatest running backs of all time, in his corner versus Diesel, the defending Intercontinental Champion, with Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels in his corner. And Razor wins the IC belt again. You've got Tatanka beating Lex Luger in an upset, and Tatanka turning heel at the end of it.
Fuck?
Joining the $1 Million Corporation. Yes.
I don't remember any of this.
Yeah. Jeff Jarrett over Mabel in the mid-card. Semi-final, which really should have gone on last. A great Brett versus Owen Cage match.
Yes.
Which and they had the families at ringside, and Neidhart was on Owen's side, and Davey had just come back, and Davey was on Brett's side.
Now I'm kind of remembering this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the main event, the thing they built the whole fucking thing around, was Undertaker versus the Underfaker. Primetime Brian Lee, who was about 4 inches short, despite being a giant man himself, was still about 4 inches shorter than the Undertaker. And really, as soon as they went face to face, it was like, you couldn't get this guy fucking lifts. They got him to 6'10" or 6'11". So that's the original card. My version of the card, we're keeping this. Yes, go ahead.
Can I just interject for one moment?
Mm-hmm.
What was there also not a running bit throughout the show where Leslie
Nielsen
was looking
yes,
for the Undertaker?
Yes, that wasn't just the thing through the show. Like, they had vignettes like before SummerSlam of him like getting ready. Oh, I'm gonna see you guys at SummerSlam, and I'm gonna find the Undertaker. And they would have these like dumb vignettes where somebody would be like, "I saw the because I watched the pay-per-view and some of the build-up before, and they were like, I saw this guy. He looked like the Undertaker. He came in and he bought a whole bunch of coffin-shaped donuts from my deli." And it's like, Jesus Christ! Why? He's not a child. He's a grown man.
And was this because there was like a new Naked Gun movie or something? Like, what was the reasoning behind putting Leslie Nielsen? Was there like a product placement or some sort of movie plugger? Or
See, no,
TV
I
show or
think they were.
something?
I think they were done with Naked Guns. The first one was like 88. The second Naked Gun was probably 90 because it was a huge hit. So 90 was, and then the third one, maybe the third one was like the summer before, but it really had there was no tie-in other than people liked Leslie Nielsen was he was like easy to see in that role. He's a bungling like, investigator, and they brought in George Kennedy as his partner, and two of them are knocking around backstage and all that shit like between matches. So I think it was just like, well, we can get a celebrity for this. Let's get Leslie Nielsen.
Okay.
He lends a little bit of comedy to this Undertaker thing. So why not shoehorn him into the stupid thing? My card has no Leslie Nielsen skits at all. Spoiler alert, no Leslie Nielsen skits at all.
How could you take that away from
And
us?
I hate to say it, there's no Underfaker on this card either. As much as I do think Brian Lee had some merits in the ring at this age, he's not ready for prime time. Well, he was prime time in Smoky Mountain, but he's not ready for prime time in the WWF at this point.
I think you're saving us all
I know.
lot
Yeah.
a lot of headache.
You're welcome. So here's my new card. And again, as I said, we're going to keep it in Chicago. I think they had like a near sellout too. Like they did a nice job of bringing in a crowd, and it's your Chicago kind of smart crowd too. So we're going to give them a little bit of a smart card.
I like that because for this time, actually, this time in WWF business, sellouts were not a common place.
It was tough,
especially for a building this big.
They were struggling on the road, especially with house shows. And I think if you have a card like this that I'm going to present, you can go. Basically, you can taxi this around, and this is a pretty good like house show card too. If you wanted to, kind of run this back. So original card had 8 matches, including that dark match. I pumped it up by 1, so I'm going to have 9 matches total. As we do with these rebooking the cards, we stipulate that you do have to keep either 2 or 3 of the original matches. So I will highlight the matches that I kept from the original card as I get to them. Yep. But I'm going to kick off my first match, and everything's on the pay-per-view. Fuck this dark match bullshit. The first match on my card, it is Double J Jeff Jarrett versus Doink the Clown.
Okay.
And this is not the Matt Bourne version of Doink. He was fired by this time.
No.
And it's not the Steve Lombardi version. We're going to get the Ray Apollo, the babyface, jokey Doink the Clown. Who,
accompanied by Dink?
Of course. Okay. And there'll be a reason why he's accompanied by Dink in a minute, because that gets him over more as a babyface and more like and he's basically like the build up to this is like and I think they actually had a TV feud leading up to this where like Doink would show up at ringside for Jeff Jarrett matches, and he would throw the confetti on him and try to fuck with him. And Jeff Jarrett was pretty new in the WWF at the time, and he's doing the world's greatest singer, world's greatest entertainer. He did not at this point have the roadie, but here's where we're introducing.
That's a little bit later, right?
Let it be. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it necessarily has to be Jesse James Armstrong yet, but he's going to have a roadie for this match, so he'll have somebody at ringside to like neutralize Dink and to maybe tie him to a chair and get him out of the way. Use some Gorilla cables from Jeff Jarrett's guitar rig or his microphone rig, and you have Jeff Jarrett going over, because again you're trying to build Jeff as an important guy. I think he can have a really good match even with a little bit of comedy in there. Jeff Jarrett can kind of do it all, so he's pretty great. So that's what I'm kicking my card off with.
I would already say strong open.
Strong, yeah. I mean,
much stronger than
an Atom Bomb Quang. start off.
Love Savio Vega, but there's
Yeah.
only so much you can do with Adam Bomb.
So the second match on the card, I'm actually keeping the women's title match. Alundra Blaze and Bull Nakano.
I mean, aside from Brett and Owen on the original one, that was probably the best match.
And this,
on
and it
that
would.
show.
I feel like it was too short. So if you're going to allow for a little bit more time, and you can kind of imagine this one getting a little bit more time, Bull Nakano had Luna Vachon in her corner. So you definitely have a little bit more involvement with Luna, and this is like Bull Nakano at almost at her peak. I know.
Yeah.
She had a long run, and she was great for a few more years before retiring full time from wrestling. And she would have more matches with Alundra. I think they made it all the way to the. Oh no, they had just had a match. No. Let me take that back. I think they wrestled again at maybe Survivor Series and then the Rumble or something. Anyway, they had a longish program, and I think this is a point where you're establishing Alundra as the female champion and the women's champion. So you still let her win this one, but again, I think maybe you do a DQ and you kind of keep Bull looking strong and get her set to have rematches and have a really good 8 to 10 minute match between the two of them for sure. My third match has a little bit of an implication. You've got two of the Raw color commentators at the time, Jerry the King Lawler versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh.
They wrestled in Memphis a million times. They had a feud earlier that year in Memphis where WWF guys were going over and playing heels in Memphis. So this one, maybe you kind of precursor it with a little bit during the pre-show where it's I'm going to come out and do the commentary for the match. Well, I'm going to come out and do the commentary for the match. And then basically somebody comes in and says, whoever wins the match gets to spend the rest of the night on commentary.
Okay.
And you have Lawler and Savage, and they, again, whether it's 6 minutes or 25 minutes, these two are going to kind of old school Memphis brawl all over the place. You still can get a good match or two out of Savage, and Lawler was serviceable at this point, even though he was 45 years old. And you let Jerry Lawler get the cheap win over Savage. Savage doesn't have to win anything,
Of course. And Jerry's much better on commentary.
And now you have a shitty Jerry Lawler the rest of the night chirping about how he beat the Macho Man, and maybe even have interference from Jeff Jarrett to cost Savage the match, and then you can go somewhere with Jeff Jarrett and Savage in a future feud, or a tag with Savage and Doink against Jerry and Jeff Jarrett. A million ways you can go with that. So I think that's a good kind of end of the first quarter of the show. Mm-hmm. And now we go into first tag team.
That's stars. That's your first you got stars.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
You got two big names.
Absolutely.
Attraction. It's an attraction.
Right. So the first tag team match I have on this, the Head Shrinkers had just the week of SummerSlam, or the night before SummerSlam, had lost the tag belts to Shawn and Diesel.
And who were the Head Shrinkers at this point?
Head Shrinker was still Samu and Fatu.
Okay.
And it's still Samu and Fatu, and they got Lou Albano, and they have Afa in their corner. And I think I'm still going to have them as the tag team champions. There's no need to take the belts off of them here. So I'm going to have them as the tag team champions, the babyface tag team champions, and they're going to go against the Heavenly Bodies with Jim Cornette.
Oh, yeah.
Who, God damn it, they had so many stop-starts with the Heavenly Bodies. They were main contenders for the tag belts when the Steiners were there, and then they got bypassed by the Quebecers, and they were, kind of shoved down, and they really didn't have that much. You can rebuild the Heavenly Bodies up, and you can actually have a pretty good, the Head Shrinkers, especially Fatu, can still go at this time. Mm-hmm. So you've got, I think in my opinion, you've got a pretty good mid-card tag title feud that could be built into this.
Oh, for sure.
the head shrinkers are the savages, so they're going to eat the Heavenly Body's wings at some point during the build, and they're gonna keep trying to like go after. And Cornette and Lou Albano can have a nice face off and let Cornette like take a couple bumps. The head shrinkers eventually go over. They're going to retain the belts in this one.
Oh, okay. Thought you were going the other way on that.
As good as I think the Heavenly Bodies were as a foil, as a contender, I don't think they were like World Tag Team Champion material.
Yeah.
And again, it's nice to have them there, and they would probably put on the best match out of anybody that was like a tag team, like a true tag team.
Yes.
At the time that you hadn't seen like a million times over and over again. But I still think the head shrinkers would be able to get the win here and keep them strong. 6 match on the card. You're going to kind of cool it off a little bit, and you're going to have a real quick babyface squash match. Adam Bomb, with his aforementioned football missiles, is going to do a quick squash over IRS. Basically cool off the tag team match and reset the table and just give Adam Bomb, like, keep him looking good. Kids probably loved him. IRS is easy to beat and makes sense. He's DiBiase's guy, and
there's only so much you can do with Adam Bomb.
Yeah.
And you have Rotundo, who can make
Rotundo can look
good.
It can make him look good,
know
absolutely. And he I was like, well, maybe Adam Bomb versus Bob Backlund. You still want to keep. Bob Backlund went on to win the heavyweight title at that.
A few months later.
Yeah. So I don't want to be like, I'm going to sacrifice Bob and maybe get Bob a little bit closer to snapping, because he hadn't fully snapped by this time. But I was like, nah, let him work with IRS and keep Bob off the card. So this is another. I almost want to say this is almost like a triple main event at this point.
Okay.
Tag team.
Really? That's how you fill the United Center.
Tag team match for 4 guys who probably would love having this tag team match. Razor Ramon and the 1-2-3 Kid versus Shawn Michaels and Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
You've got my attention.
And just give them as much time as they're the Clique at this point. They're all main event and house show. This is the type of thing where it's like they were complaining at the time, like, well, we don't do enough, business with house shows. And I think one of the main reasons is fucking you 4 guys are like trying to spread yourselves too thin, wrestling 4 different matches, or at least 3 different matches. Get all 4 of you, especially on a SummerSlam, get all 4 of these guys in a tag team match against each other, balls to the wall, big guys versus big guys. Shawn and 1-2-3 Kid can high spot their heart's content. You still have the Shawn versus Razor heat that's still there. I have Walter Payton at ringside for. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'd have Walter Payton at ringside for Razor and 1-2-3 Kid. Maybe just to walk them out and then fuck off. Maybe you get somebody from another football team to get in Shawn and Diesel's corner. Maybe you get Barry
White.
Maybe you get Barry Sanders. Maybe you get Reggie White. I'd like the idea of Barry Sanders is a heel on the other side.
Oh yeah, that would be hilarious. And this is still Barry in his prime.
I know, this is ramping up to the greatest running back of all time, Barry Sanders. But I mean, again, like, these guys can get 15 minutes or 20 minutes just to showcase everything that they do. Everybody looks like $1 million coming out of it. You let Shawn and Diesel get like the bullshit win. You keep them, or you know what? I think they were getting. Diesel ends up being a babyface by that. He wins the title the night after that Survivor Series, so maybe you actually have 1-2-3 Kid and Razor go over, and you have Diesel and Shawn start to tease their dissension. Yeah. No tag team titles are needed on those guys. That was such a silly thing to do.
And what I like about this is you're getting 2 guys who weren't actually on the original card.
That's right.
Who
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Kid was nowhere to be
100%
seen.
should have
Yeah.
fucking been. 100% should have been.
I had thought about like let's keep or let's put Jeff Jarrett with 1, 2, 3 Kid.
Which would be great.
Which would be, yeah, I mean, but then I'm like, you know what? Like Razor and Kid, it makes sense. It's a year after they like formulated a team and had their little rivalry, which led to them teaming up. And then Shawn and Diesel are their best friends in the world. So fuck yeah, they never did it on pay-per-view. This would be the chance to really like showcase how that tag team match could go about and how good it would be.
Yeah, I really like that.
Another, well, maybe a semi main event here. Again, you're not going to have the Undertaker versus the Underfaker, but I still got Bam Bam Bigelow in this company. Woo. So I'm going to have Bam Bam Bigelow versus the Undertaker.
How did that never happen?
And exactly, this is a match that maybe they did on house shows, or maybe they, maybe on a Raw after like Bam Bam lost that match to Lawrence Taylor, but fuck. And guess what? I'm gonna have Bam Bam Bigelow win this match.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna let it be the whole thing of like you hadn't seen the Undertaker since. Like, he hadn't been around for a long time. This is maybe, like, in the build-up to this, they're like, will the Undertaker actually show up? Will he be back? And DiBiase's saying, like, I've got him under my control. He'll, and you kind of have, like, Bam Bam catches him sleeping. And Bam Bam goes over because you still need to build Bam Bam up to use him at that next year's WrestleMania in the main event. And this is a way to actually, like, solidify him and get him pointed in the right direction.
Exactly, because they never, granted that's the guy to work with LT, but they never really had a reason for it. Like, they never elevated him to the point where he was
in a fucking
like,
he was in a
at as
tag
the main
team
event
match.
of WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's I love that.
so I think you got a killer Bam Bam and you have Bam Bam as DiBiase's main important thing. Everything revolves around Bam Bam.
Yes.
Everybody else that's there
He's the guy.
is to service Bam Bam, which they eventually did, but they didn't do that until they were building to WrestleMania. So this is where it all starts. It is Bam Bam's a guy who beat The Undertaker. When The Undertaker was coming back, he beat The Undertaker. And yeah, you probably have to give Taker a win down the road against Bigelow. Yeah. But
Survivor Series or whatever.
Yeah. You could do that at Rumble. You could, do a casket match at the Rumble and then get ready for whatever you're going to do with Lawrence Taylor. Or maybe don't fucking do anything with Lawrence Taylor. I don't know. All right, 2 more matches on the card. I am keeping the match between Tatanka and Lex Luger.
Oh, my God.
And the reason why I'm keeping that is I really like the way that and this helps make DiBiase's group stronger.
Okay.
It's babyface versus babyface match. The fans think Luger's going to be the one turning. It ends up being Tatanka at the end of the match.
All right.
And he took the money, and he makes Luger look like a punk. Eventually, Luger, gets his heat back and his win back. But this is another thing where it's like, and coming out of SummerSlam, you can certainly see like DiBiase like on TV saying like, Undertaker and Lex Luger, my guys beat your guys, and right there you've got another tag team match for a house show loop where you've got Bam Bam and Tatanka against Luger and Undertaker, and and everything that you want to get out of a underdog Lex Luger now. He's got to wrestle against Bam Bam, or he's got to wrestle against Tatanka, and a million combinations. But there was actually it was a short match, I think, in the original card. Maybe only lasted like 5 minutes, but you don't have to. It's the post match shit that made sense, and the post match shit was really good. So I'm keeping Tatanka and Luger, and I'm also keeping the main, and I'm moving.
Of course,
Brett and Owen in the cage. Everything that was done in that match should be kept to the letter, to the note. Even I believe at the end of towards the end of the match, Jim Neidhart, who was sitting behind Davey Boy Smith and our favorite Diana Hart, He kind of got up and like pushed them over the guard railing, and Diana almost cracked her head on the guard railing, and split her head open. You know, almost put her head between the bars. So I would keep that too, and have Brett victorious over Owen. But then again, here's I just like what we're coming out of this with is you've got, and they had Brett and Davey again interchangeable against Owen and Neidhart.
Yep.
And you go around the horn with that, and tag team matches and handicap matches, whatever you want to do. So there, in a nutshell, 9 matches. I think we made it a lot stronger, and we made it a lot more. It's not the end of a lot of feuds. It's more kind of, here's a continuation we can do, and here's a lot more business that we can do with this group to make everybody look like $1 million coming out of this SummerSlam.
It's a big upgrade, and I like the continuation factor because I feel like Royal Rumble should be the beginning of stuff.
Yeah.
WrestleMania is the finish of some of those things, but it bleeds out to lead to SummerSlam, continues on, and it's kind of paid off at Survivor Series.
Absolutely. And this is the other thing. Like, you're looking at this card, and I added 1 match, but got about 5 or 6 other people that weren't on the regular card in action.
Yeah.
Doink wasn't on there. Lawler, Savage. Actually, more. Doink, Lawler, Savage, Heavenly Bodies, Waltman, and Shawn in an actual match. So, I mean, that's pretty good for...
Huge upgrade.
And
no fucking Mabel.
Yeah, right. No Mabel. So that is the new SummerSlam 94. I'll let you open the door for SummerSlam 99.
All right, SummerSlam 1999 takes place from Minneapolis, Minnesota, as we know, mainly for the reason to have, at the time, Governor Jesse the Body Ventura be the special guest referee for the main event, which I will keep there because my man Jesse ain't going anywhere. He's
big business there, for sure.
So the way that this card stacked out, we opened up with D'Lo Brown versus Jeff Jarrett, and this is the IC title versus European title, winner takes all.
Yes.
The second match was a tag team turmoil match to become the number one, to get a shot at the tag team titles the next night on Raw. So it was a number one contender match, essentially. The contestants in that match were the team of Droz and Albert,
Gross,
Edge and Christian, the Acolytes, the Hardys, the Hollies, and Midian and Viscera.
Ugh, okay.
Match number 3 was for the right before the third match. We for some reason had the Road Dogg come out so that he could kind of MC this next match, which he just kind of followed them around and commentated. Which was very weird. But before the match actually begins, Chris Jericho comes out. This was shortly after Jericho's debut.
Yeah.
And has a back and forth with Road Dogg on the mic. And then we get to the hardcore title match between the Big Boss Man and Al Snow. Following that was the women's title match. This barn burner, Ivory versus Tori.
Okay.
Then we got
if done right, it could have been okay. Listen, it's not bras and panties, so
it was not good. Spoiler alert.
All right.
Following that was a Lions Den match between Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman.
Yeah.
Next, we had Shane McMahon, accompanied by the Mean Street Posse, taking on Test in a lover or lever street fight.
Greenwich Street Fight? Was that what it was? Yeah.
Yes, Greenwich Street Fight. Next, we had the tag team titles on the line, which you had your champions, Kane and X-Pac, taking on The Undertaker and The Big Show.
By the way, I always liked that team.
You and I differ, my friend.
Oh, I would. All right. I like them now.
Next, we had the infamous Kiss My Ass match between The Rock and your newly crowned King of the Ring, Mr. Ass Billy Gunn.
Rock killed. By the way, promos leading up to that.
Yep.
Billy Gunn shouldn't have shown up that night.
Yep. We're going to erase that. We're going to erase that.
Good to know.
And in your main event, you had a triple threat match for the world title. Stone Cold Steve Austin, your champion, versus Mankind versus Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
And we had it be a triple threat match so that Austin didn't have to take the fall, I'm guessing.
He was getting ready to have neck surgery.
Yep.
Shortly after this.
Yep.
And I believe Mick said in his book that he was kind of hurt or something going into this too.
Yep. So
Troopers.
On paper, listen, I kind of feel the same way about this show as I do most of WWF in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
Business was at an all-time high. You had maybe the best roster that the company had ever seen,
mm-hmm.
and just something was missing. I don't know what it was, but it just, the way things were going. At the time, watching it, loved it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In retrospect, it doesn't really hold up all that well. So, let's reimagine. Let's erase our memories and pretend what I just told you happened never happened.
It never happened.
And we're going to kick things off by... Let's start his run off right. Match number 1 is for the European title. D'Lo Brown defending the title against Chris Jericho.
All right. Good.
Putting Chris Jericho on the card to display his talents as an in-ring performer, because up until this point he hadn't gotten in the ring yet. We've just seen him cut up promos.
Okay. All right. So this serves two purposes. This serves the purpose of being a debut.
Pay-per-view debut.
And then immediately
and
into a title program.
Yep.
Okay.
And, of course, we got Jericho wins the title.
No doubt.
You have him in the ring with D'Lo Brown, who is more than capable. Two of them could hot start.
Mm-hmm.
First, you got a hot start to the pay-per-view. Second of all, you have Jericho. Now when you have him debut with The Rock, of course you put him in a big spotlight, but at the same time, you have The Rock kind of overshadow him.
Sure. Yeah.
And
he got the best of him at the end.
And I don't remember exactly what Jericho's first in-ring program was, but it wasn't strong, and I'm almost certain they had him losing it. So you start off his WWF run, immediately wins the title on his first match in the company, and just a hot start to the pay-per-view. Match number 2, we're going to go with, this is kind of an attraction. So earlier in the year, we had the degeneration of Degeneration X, where Hunter, turns on X-Pac, DX kind of falls apart. Now we're trying to have everyone have their singles run, or you have X-Pac with Kane. We just had Billy Gunn win the King of the Ring.
Yes.
And you're positioning him as a heel. Well, this is going to be the Outlaws Collide. So you're going to have Billy Gunn versus the Road Dogg, which I don't think we ever got either.
I think you got them in multiple man matches, but I don't think you ever had a real one-on-one.
Had that singles match. So coming out of the King of the Ring, you have Billy Gunn. You have him hot. This is a natural feud to put it. It logically makes sense. I don't know why we never got it.
Here's a question that I have, and this probably has more to do with the way that the King of the Ring had been booked. Wasn't it at one point, if you won the King of the Ring, you did get the SummerSlam title match?
No.
Maybe they had that as a stipulation, because I think that was when Mabel won the title, he wrestled against Diesel at that 95 SummerSlam. Maybe they had it just for
Yeah.
for one time or spotty. They were
Because-
like, we'll let him,
No, because well, actually, the year 93 Brett wins. He doesn't wrestle for the title. 94 Owen wins, but he does. But that's kind of a continuation
that's
from the WrestleMania.
right. He's got the feud.
Mabel, I think that was mainly just to give Mabel, because nobody those
Try to
two
give him
did
credibility.
wrestle for the title, but I think that was more of trying to build Mabel up, and he just never kind of got there.
All right, kept hurting
And,
people.
And you're fucking crazy if you think I'm giving Billy Gunn a title.
Oh, no.
on this show.
No, but I think it does him a better service by saying like he went out on his own, won the King of the Ring, and then came back, and he's taken on his
and now
old
he's going to
partner.
take on his tag team partner.
Yeah.
He's going to go over, of course.
Mhm.
Now you're building the Billy Gunn singles run, as opposed to, I mean, this show essentially put that to a fucking stop. Originally,
they buried Billy 6 feet under.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand it whatsoever.
I think Rocky.
Anyway.
I think Rocky balked on it as like a regular program, and I think even everybody else was like, he's not like, it's great that he won the King of the Ring, but like we didn't do anything else with him leading up to that and coming out of it. So a feud against The Rock where he gets humiliated kind of makes sense, and then we shove Billy back into a tag team.
Exactly. You have him humiliated on the mic, and then on this show he loses and then has to kiss a fat woman's ass or something like that. It was like, I don't get the logic of the push there, but
yeah. And it's good that you're actually using Road Dogg to do something other than just walk around with a microphone and do dumb commentary.
Don't want to hear that.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Okay, so match number 3, we are going to have a women's title match.
Okay.
But this, I was shocked that she wasn't on the show. We're going to have Ivory, the champion, taking on Chyna. And Chyna is going to take the women's title off Ivory.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is a chance to push Chyna, who later on in the year winds up going and wins the Intercontinental title.
Right.
So
right.
I see this as Chyna wins the women's title. She starts like a crusade for like, I can beat all the women in this company.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go for a man's title.
Okay. Give her the stepping stone. Yeah.
Yep.
A logical stepping stone other than like, I just can throw a forearm at guys at ringside.
Exactly. And I mean, at this time, Chyna she's red hot.
She's super popular.
There's no reason not to. I mean, I get you're trying to get Ivory over, but there's no reason to not have. That would be like saying you shouldn't have Austin be the champion because he's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right.
It makes sense to me.
Next, this is going to be one of the keepers from the original card, and this is strictly because I love these matches, regardless of how good or bad they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were always fun. Hardcore title match, the Big Boss Man versus Al Snow,
which was a legendary feud.
Yes, this is just we're introducing Pepper into the equation.
Right.
I believe this. I believe this was the show where the Big Boss Man kidnapped Pepper.
Probably.
And this match wound up going like out of the arena. It went into a bar across the street.
Yeah.
They're fighting on a pool table. They're doing suplexes in the middle of the road. It was a sight to be seen. I love this shit. I don't know why.
It's the best version of Al Snow that there ever was. Hardcore division Al Snow was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And it's like a break in the so you're cutting away from the arena. You know, you have these guys going all over the place. The people on pay-per-view are like, oh my god, this is anything can happen.
Exactly. Oh, I'd love to be there. And yep.
Ton of fun. So you have Boss Man retaining the hardcore title in that match. Next, we are going to go to the Intercontinental title match.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep the stipulation of one of the matches from the original card. And this is going to be Jeff Jarrett defending his IC title against Ken Shamrock in a Lions Den match.
See, I thought you were going to be like, oh, it's in a kiss my ass match.
Oh, God. So what I noticed going back and looking at this era, like the 98, 99, 2000, these SummerSlams were very heavy in the gimmick matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I kind of like that because it sets it apart.
It's different from Mania.
It's like it's a big pay-per-view, but you have like all these little fun quirks to it.
Mhm.
So, Jarrett, maybe we get a precursor of TNA, MMA Jarrett.
Double MA.
We have him going against
Oh,
Ken
tap out
Shamrock.
kids. Lowell, let him tap out kids.
And he's in his don't piss me off phase.
Yep.
So like,
Yep.
I that was like my peak Jarrett. And now you got him going against Shamrock. I'm gonna have Shamrock win the title.
Win the IC title, yeah.
Shamrock, I think he had so much potential to be like a huge deal in wrestling, and he just never quite got there. And I would have liked to see him stick with it.
I agree. Yeah, I think he wasn't. He ended up in a feud with Jericho for a little while after this.
Yeah,
but I think he was like out of the company before the next Rumble.
Yep.
And again, that's a shame because he. I talked about it in one of the other previous episodes of the podcast. Like, if they couldn't have Steve Austin back with after that neck injury, some sort of like mini program with like Ken Shamrock and Bret Hart would have been phenomenal. Phenomenal. And then you have Shamrock go all the way up to a world title. They completely made him just like every other guy, way too fast in that company.
Yep.
When they should have treated him. And again, like he had the specialty matches, like the Lions Den match, and he did the snapping, and he was the first guy to bring tap outs into, mainstream pro wrestling as far as WWF goes. And he deserved a lot more, and for whatever reason, like they just didn't necessarily have patience with him.
Yep.
But yeah.
So I think him and Jarrett could have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lions Den was always like I loved rewatching the SummerSlam '98. I loved what him and Owen did. Before.
Yeah.
It was actually really good, way better than I remember it. And so I think that would have been a good one.
Okay.
Next, we're gonna have the tag team title match, and so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna keep the tag team turmoil match that we had as number one contender.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to have that be the tag team title match where you're wrestling to ultimately get to Kane and X-Pac as the last team in the match. All right. So we're going to start it off with Edge and Christian and the Hardys. Start it off hot. Have the Hardys go all the way through Draw. They're going to beat Edge and Christian. They're going to go through Draws and Albert. They're going to go through the Hollies. They're going to go through Midian and Viscera. Then the Acolytes come out. Looks like the Hardys are gonna get the win.
Plucky baby faces.
And then big clothesline from hell. And now you got like just kick-ass match between Bradshaw and Farouk against Kane and X-Pac.
Kane and X-Pac. And X-Pac's probably taking a heat until you get the hot tag. And
then you get the hot tag and boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Chokeslam, Tombstone. Retain the titles.
Very good.
For Kane and X-Pac.
Very good. Now, had the Hardys and Edge and Christian had that ladder match yet?
That was after this. That was No Mercy.
So, yeah, that actually, like, in your scenario, that actually helps both of these teams kind of get over a little bit more if it's a gauntlet.
So you're going to give
style.
They're gonna start the match out, and they're going to go about, I would say, 7-8 minutes in that first run of the match to really, kickstart their feud. It makes them both look good.
Good.
Next is the last match that I'm keeping on the card, and that's the Lover to Leave Her Street fight. I love that match. I don't know why, I just love that match.
Soft spot for Test. Here it is.
I love Shane McMahon. I love Shane McMahon.
Matt would have kept that and put that in the main event.
Well, I mean, Stephanie McMahon that's what you're reaching to get to, right? Shane, it's got a decent story to it.
It does. It was their,
his band of hooligans are trying to stop this Motley Crue loving guy,
the roadie,
from taking over his corrupting his poor innocence.
Right. Yeah.
And you still get the big elbow drop, which, I mean, that made Shane...
This was
his first match, I think, right?
Didn't he do a match with X-Pac at the...
Oh, that's right. Yeah. He
Yeah.
did like but this was like his first like high profile.
Well, and it's
like,
him wrestling like away from somebody who's established. Test was not established.
Yeah.
So it actually like did a service for Test, and it helped Shane give a little bit more sort of credibility to like he's this, again, he's a stunt wrestler more than anything else.
Yeah.
But it's
he's
like he shouldn't be doing this. But
exactly.
like if he's going to do this dude did it full force and was balls out with it. I would like to bottle that version of Shane McMahon forever and not have to deal with overheated after he gets to the ring in his entrance and
legs
call
exploding.
call the paramedic. Shane's dying on his way to the ring.
Break out the paddle boards.
So and again, you get the Mean Street Posse guys get involved, and
Those
and
guys,
Steph's there.
Great bump takers.
Do you put Steph in a cage?
Oh,
Like,
that would have been
hanging
interesting.
above?
The shark cage.
Put her in the shark cage? More shark cage situations, please.
All right. So Test is going to ultimately get the best of Shane, and he will love her and
All
not
right.
leave her.
Good. All right.
Next, we're gonna really get a right turn into the gimmicks.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you said you love this tag team. I was not as much of a fan, and so I'd rather see them go against one another. We're going to have the Undertaker because, okay, I have a very soft spot in my heart for the Ministry of Darkness for whatever reason.
Yes.
And so I didn't like when the Undertaker kind of broke character. This is when the Undertaker first kind of started to break character.
Yes.
And I was never a fan of that. Just keep him this mythological creature. So I'm going to keep it that way. The Undertaker is going to take on the Big Show in a graveyard match.
Oh. Okay.
So this is almost like we're going cinematic here.
All right.
This is not taking place in the arena.
It should be fun that way.
This is going to be shown on the video board.
Okay. Good.
And we're just going to have whatever you can do in a graveyard.
Now, this is what's funny. Again, this is another sort of timeline because Taker and Big Show had that tag team, and then they sent Big Show to Ohio Valley to lose weight and to get a better attitude. So yeah, I mean, if you do a graveyard and you bury him alive, or you write him off TV this way, I know it will deprive another like 2 months of the great Undertaker Big Show tag team.
And prior to them becoming a tag team, they were feuding.
Yes,
That's
they were.
When they put him through the ring and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So just extend that and pretend that they never became.
And they never became a team
allies.
at all. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Keep it that way.
Okay.
And I think that's just like another one of those like fun matches where.
Oh yeah.
At the time, Show's not working he's not working a great match. It's like, let's be honest, he's not going to come in and have a barn burner with anybody.
But you can do the walk and brawl with him in a.
But exactly, if you have this
outside the ring stuff,
you have the Undertaker doing the clothesline out of a tree or something, throwing each other through fucking headstones.
Yeah.
You know?
I like it.
Fun, and it continues on with the Ministry of Darkness angle, which I don't know why, but I love that.
Even with Viscera?
I mean, that's the best. If you're gonna have Mabel, at least have him be some sort of weird demonic.
Have him be a hot topic Mabel.
I want to know what a viscera is.
Nothing says punk rock like Mabel with like black
bleach
lipstick,
blonde mohawk.
Yeah, bleach blonde mohawk, black lipstick, and
black fingernails.
What appeared to be also a garbage bag that he put his arms through.
When he originally just dressed like he was going to a funeral, I thought that was hilarious.
Yes.
Where he was just wearing like a suit and tie.
Well, listen, it certainly beat like when he took the top off in WWE's ECW with Matt Stryker, and he had the suspenders and the giant tits, where he was just like, "Oh no, this is just an 8 feet tall Abdul the Butcher that's running around here.
Not to get too far off topic, but
Mhm.
Joey always used to tell me the story where he would be on like the local like Dapper Johnny Falco shows,
Yep.
and he would just ask everybody to oil up his back because he couldn't reach.
Okay. now that's a slender man saying that. Oil my back up. Oh, the Dapper Johnny Falco, and then everybody goes to the meet and greet at the Yellow Rose Diner afterwards. So.
Yep, and Viscera is just leaving a whale-sized streak in the back of the in the back of the booth.
Who's my rod?
All right,
back on track.
Back on track. It was originally a 9-match card. We're going to keep it a 9-match card.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make this one a little bit of a more star-studded main event. We're going to keep Jesse the Body Ventura as the special guest referee.
Okay.
This is going to be a 4-way elimination style match for the world title.
Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Mankind versus Triple H versus The Rock.
Great.
Instead of having Mankind win the title and then drop it to Triple H the next night, the way that I have this match playing out is, as you said, going into this, Austin was hurt, and they were ramping up a way to not only get the belt off of him, but at Survivor Series is when they do the whole gimmick where he gets hit with the car.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep the Austin McMahon feud strong. McMahon comes out, distracts Austin, gets rolled up. He's eliminated first.
Okay, first one out. So
easy
to
and it's
involve Vince and get.
Vince causes the distraction. He's out. You don't have to have him work a ton. He drops the title, and now you have this like everyone's stunned kind of thing because champs lost, and now you're guaranteed to have a new champion. Who's it going to be?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Next, so this is going to be, because it's a 4-way. We're kind of going to do like a false count anywhere, like craziness with all this stuff.
Like it.
Next, I have Mankind taking a rock bottom from one announce table through the next.
Okay.
Mankind's out, so now we're down to Triple H and The Rock. Triple H at this time is with the corporation or whatever.
Corporate ministry. Yes.
Yeah, I guess it's the corporate ministry. I guess they did the fusion dance at this point.
They did. Yeah. Because they did that earlier in the summer.
Okay.
And him and China were corporate affiliated. But I think right after this, they went back to, they put DX back together.
Yes. Okay. And they were heels instead of baby faces.
Yeah, for sure.
So, it's going to come down to The Rock and Triple H. We're going to have Jesse take an errant chair shot. Jesse's down.
Okay.
For the count. This leads to a whole load of shenanigans with Vince and Shane and everybody, and eventually Triple H, low blow, pedigree, 1, 2, 3.
Rocky gets screwed,
and Triple H is your new WWF champion.
Funny, they had the ladder match for the IC belt at the previous SummerSlam,
which is why I wanted to tie it back to the two of them, because that was the match that I thought essentially made the two of them.
Well, definitely, yeah. It was a big eye opener for Hunter, and he was again babyface at that time with DX, and it certainly I think he got injured right after it, but he was really on a run. But that's where they were like, well, we can put more belts on him, and we can make him a more high profile guy. Same thing with Rocky. That was the point where they were like, Rocky's gonna be our guy for, whether it's right now or whether it's down the road, Rocky's gonna be our guy. And Rocky had already had the world title once or twice before this anyway.
Yes, because he lost it to Austin. I think like 2 or 3 times he went back and forth with Foley.
With Foley, and then right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And so in this scenario, if I'm gonna book it a little bit further out, I'm gonna have Triple H win it here, and he's gonna retain it all the way until Mania, where instead of having that dreaded four-way they had at WrestleMania 2000. You're just going to get Triple H and The Rock.
And The Rock.
You're going to have The Rock win.
Rock gets his win back. Absolutely, yeah. That makes for a much better scenario. You don't have to have 4 McMahons in 4 corners. You don't have to, you had the Big Show drop weight and kind of get back in the swing of things. But, that totally makes sense. I think, a vast improvement. You're not shifting a lot of the guys that were on the card off the card. Which is also good, and I think
more of a rearrangement.
Yeah, I think utilizing the people that are there that are over and enhancing it. I certainly think like the idea of like Chyna getting slotted into that women, and especially since she's a heel at this time, putting her in that women's division would certainly give her like something. It gives her something to do instead of being just like Hunter's second or the 9th most important person in the Ministry of Darkness, and it eventually you get her to back in the good graces of the fans, as she says, I'm ready to now dominate with this title. I'm going to beat all the women in the division. Then I'm coming for higher stakes and do that. Jericho gets reestablished, so that's really great. The potential of a really good like gimmick match in the Shamrock versus Jeff Jarrett. Unfortunately, Steve Blackman doesn't make it onto your card, but you can't win them all.
And then I think like even like by having Billy Gunn win and be a stronger character, now you can have him go on to like he's feuding with Shamrock for the
exactly
coming out of this or something like that, as opposed to just being buried by The Rock, and now you just have to put the Outlaws back together because what else are you going to do? Or
maybe you do like you pull the trigger and turn him babyface, and he's the guy that's going after the Euro title with Jericho.
Oh yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah, you're not shoving him back down the card and embarrassing him on pay-per-view, and also we don't have to see shiny white lady ass on pay-per-view and all that stuff. So very good. I think we improve both. I mean, the goal is to improve both SummerSlams.
Yes. I would say that you vastly improved that one.
No, and I would rain the same praise on your SummerSlam, but I think mine was different because it was like, well, I'm going to use people that didn't make it on the card and make it like a bigger spectacle rather than what in essence was like a 2-match card. Yes. Now it's a 9. 7 out of the 9 matches are really compelling. With yours, I think you shuffled around enough of the players and made the main event so much bigger, but then also like with the idea of like adding more gimmick match and defending all of your titles on the show, then here we are with a better federation going forward and a lot of shit set up for the fall. So,
yep,
excellent. So, I think that'll wrap us up for this episode.
Yeah.
Anything else to chime in with before we sign off on this one?
I would just like to put out an all points bulletin. If anybody, and I mean anybody, has seen Geiger anywhere,
yeah, that's true.
Please let us know.
Yes, I will provide breadcrumbs. The trail of breadcrumbs could go back to his place. It could go back to a central point. But yeah, we would like Matt to be back for future episodes at the end of the summer, post SummerSlam, and we hope this SummerSlam's a good card. I think they got a lot of momentum right now, and it certainly looks like their top of the card stuff is it's really shaping up to be good stuff. So we hope we don't have to in another 2 years we don't have to rebook SummerSlam 2023 to be better than it was. I trust the process there, but regardless, we hope that you guys have a tremendous night and keep at it, and we'll hear from you soon.